Hello, welcome. I've already drawn today's mystery person in one of my video shorts, and I drew Age of Aquarius. And prior to that, I drew a card for that person, and I drew the Metamorphosis card. So I would say the Aquarius mystery person is probably going through some big changes right now. Okay, so let's just get started. Draw our first card for today's universal reading, not just for the Aquarius mystery person, but for everyone. Boss Babe, the Empress card, number 3. And today is the 21st, so it's actually a 3-day. So pretty awesome that I drew that card. I'm also a lucky number 3 when I do my numerology. The Empress reminds us of our divine feminine energy. And right now we are seeing it everywhere. I mean, universe, get excited. It took learning terrible, horrible things, but we are seeing a universal outcry for what we are discovering. And there should be a universal outcry for what we are discovering, because obviously it's not acceptable. And when someone says, oh, this is just the way it is and we're not going to change it, I beg to differ. And I hope everybody who's listening today also would beg to differ. I think we have a right to want the changes for this world that will be better for the regular people and safer, obviously, right? So feminine power is amazing. And we're seeing all sorts of posts from men who are standing up and saying, yeah, this is wrong. Hey, I'm giving you a website to report. I'm giving you this. I'm giving you that. You know, we're getting outrage from men who are embracing their protector role. So thank you. We appreciate you as well. And I've pointed out statistically my channel seems to draw females between the ages of 44 and 54, if YouTube knows anything about them. However, I welcome everyone. I believe that everyone is needed and has a necessary role. And it's just we need to get back on path for acting out those roles correctly. Ooh, the Just Breathe card. Super important. No matter what's happening, no matter how anxious it's making us, no matter, how much we want to rant and rave and go crazy, we also have to take the time to quiet, to relax, to meditate, to just breathe. When you breathe, you can find that inner peace that's necessary to create global outer peace, right? So breathing, super important. Yes, we're on a rant. Yes, we're on a mission. Yes, we're trying to fix the planet. All the goodies I just mentioned. But we got to take the time to breathe. It's like putting on your own oxygen mask so you can be there for somebody else. Love it when I draw that card because I'm an ADHD person. And so I need to be reminded to take time to breathe. That's when the best things come to me. Ooh, embrace your inner mama bear, the Cancer. Yeah, being a caregiver, being nurturing, being a homebody, wearing your heart on a sleeve. Be like the Cancer. Yeah, this is a great message, right? Because right now, as this divine energy is playing in and we are taking the time to breathe and put that oxygen mask on, that mask is coming on so that we can be there for others who still need us, who still need Mama Bear, right? And we're all in different stages of our recovery from kind of the trauma of being on this earth. Now, especially as we're finding out more and more reasons we should have trauma living on this earth. And so everybody's in different stages, and not everybody can be ready for alchemizing their pain yet. And so it's important for us mama bears, for those of us who have maybe come through you know, made it over that hill and alchemized our trauma, and we're on to the point where we want to be there for other people. But we know we can only be there if somebody reaches out for help. We can't just force ourselves on people. We can't be there when people aren't ready. But we can be there with open arms when we see someone struggling, and we can try to support them the best we can without kind of overstepping their boundaries and our own boundaries, right? But yeah, big message is, yeah, be caring. We should all be caring and protectors for people who have suffered at the hands of this world. And we all have in different ways, but I mean, there are some extreme candidates right now. Keep shuffling these cards. And hopefully we all know someone in our life who really embraces those Cancer qualities. And there is nothing like having a Cancer on your side. They are loyal and they will fight for you. It's kind of amazing. I have a sister like this, and she will do anything for anyone. She is the original mama bear. Intuit. The answers are within. Yes. This kind of comes into play with that breathing and just calmly waiting for the information that is all within all of us, right? Some people mistake, oh, these people are really smart, or oh, these people have a really high IQ. What if every invention is just a memory? What if every idea is just a memory? Something that's ingrained in all of us that we all know. Poor girls have their head cut off there. But yeah, what if? Right? What if every single invention is already in each of us, ingrained in each of us? We have all those answers within. Wouldn't we stop feeling so insecure? You know, those of us who question, what are we here for? What are we good at? If you're one of those people that is questioning, what is your role? What is your sole purpose? I highly recommend Human Design. You can jump on any free app and figure it out with just your birth date, your birth location, and your birth time. Even if you don't have the exact birth time, some of the better apps will help you narrow down that time. It doesn't change everything. It just changes a few things having that time. So yeah, highly recommend if you're looking to understand yourself more and figure out what your purpose is and where your intuitive gifts are going to be helpful and necessary. Great idea to do the Human Design. It shows you what your strength is in cognition. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Highly recommend it, and I'm happy to help somebody with the chat. I did add my WhatsApp into my community information page, or my about page, so feel free to WhatsApp me. I don't check it all the time, but I will definitely try to respond to any, personal questions and information. I love sharing. That's kind of part of my life purpose, and I use any of the ways that I can. Now, I never did want to go on camera, so when I was first introduced to this concept, I was like, oh, put it off. And that, my friends, is how I became a faceless hand model. But I realized I don't care about my many faces throughout my life, my many names. They're all represented here with all my paintings. Once I had painted so many faces, much like as a child I drew tons of faces, I realized, wow, all I have to do is use the cards, and it doesn't have to be about a person, because I really don't believe in the hero story, right? I mean, we all have our own hero story within, our own hero's journey that we go through where we become the best version of ourselves, but there is no other hero, right? And I think that's the difference between spirituality and religion, right? Religion tries to bring in some kind of mechanism of control, and spirituality is within you, right? You're kind of, it's like they say on the other side, well, there's no religion. What would religion be about? Like, it doesn't even make sense. We're all creators, and we're all in it together. We don't have to worship anybody. All the answers are within. Just going to draw one more card. See what we get. Yeah, and the war against women. Respect our bodies. Lying about us doesn't make us weaker. It only makes you unprepared. Ooh, you look prettier when you don't. grape. Yeah, that's fact. Hands off. Yeah. I mean, the message is out there. Without changing our frequency, without changing who we are, without letting us become obsessed with fear, when we rise up and we say our message, we have a right to be here. We have a right to be treated like equals. We are not anyone's property. Those days have passed. We thought they had passed everywhere, right? Like, Henry VIII, we thought those days were over, but secretly they weren't over, right? For women, they really haven't changed. And that's what we're asking for, that to change now. And like I said, we're so thankful for all the men that are on board with this, that understand that, we have a right to be here. We have a right to property. We have a right to our body. We have a right to our decisions. We're not just here to look pleasing to them, to be taken advantage of by them, right? And when we start believing in ourselves and standing up for ourselves and standing up for others, that is the greatest act of love. So that's not going to lower your frequency. That's going to raise your frequency. And that's what we're seeing happening everywhere, as women are saying, no more, no more. This is terrible. We're seeing this complete change in humanity, and that's going to be part of this ascension. I'm more than confident about it. The return of Christ consciousness is about the divine feminine and the energy that we're going to produce, because we want what's right. Right? So I'm still not going to leave it on a war against women card. It's a little not the ending I'm looking for, so I'm going to draw one more. Ooh, laid back like Libra. The fairest of them all. Harmonious energy. Justice. Balance. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm trying to say. We can have this anger without letting it weigh us down, right? We can have this righteous, indignant anger, and we can fight for change. We can become people who create the laws and enforce the laws. We can become judges. We can become politicians. We can change our communities within. That's harmonious energy. But we don't have to let it consume us and let us become vengeful and wanting something in return that happened to us to happen to the other side. That's not how it's going to go down, right? And that's where the divine feminine is quite different. And that's the energy we ask us to embrace. And we're all the yin and yang, folks. We're all a little bit masculine and a little bit feminine, and it changes as the planets align differently at different times. That balance changes, and you can actually see that directly in your human design app. If you have Neutrino Link, I believe it's called, it shows you the fluctuations, and no one is one or the other. So we all have this balance. It doesn't matter if you're a male on Earth or a female on Earth this time around, right? We're all balancing that energy right now. And the important thing about what we want to do here is, when we take back the planet, we don't do so in the same way that what was done to us. We're not going at it that way. We're going back at it with love and light, and trying to make an equitable place for everyone. Well, thank you, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you like it or share it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We start small. And again, I'm not focused on my ego here. If this reaches one person, I'm so happy to have reached you. And I would love to hear from you if you have any comments. So thank you for listening.